Hey, so I am a couple hours early for a Halloween event I'm doing in Atlanta called Netherworld Haunted House. And I'll put a link to that video down below. But while I'm waiting, I decided to try some Atlanta vegan cuisine. I've eaten at one vegan restaurant before in Atlanta. It was about 5 years ago or so. It wasn't the greatest I'd ever had, but Atlanta has many different vegan places to eat at. So it was difficult to narrow it down, but I picked one that was near to where I was. So I am in Decatur. And the name of the restaurant, let me look at it, is GoVegan Grill. It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I looked at the menu, and it looks very diner-ish and very like almost like Southern food kind of cuisine. Let me flip the camera around, and we'll get a shot of the restaurant itself. There it is. It's in a little strip mall right off the highway. If I was just driving around, I would never find this. There was a sign out on the street, but it would be very difficult to find. It's in the parking lot with a Goodwill and a Goodwill Career Center. So it's a pretty big parking lot. And then there's a couple other food places here, including, oh, right there, an Indian restaurant right here. And it says Indian vegetarian cuisine. So that is interesting, as there's a car honking right now. All right, so I just got in here, and it's a digital screen, so it won't really show up that well. And you can see it's very cafeteria style right here. She's actually dishing up my food right now. And there's basically two options. You can either get the food off the cafeteria here, or they have a made-to-order menu. And I actually have the updated menu right here, where when I sit down outside, we'll take a look at it. But I'm going with the meatloaf, and then it comes with rice and then two sides. And they said the macaroni and the collard greens are two of the most popular, so I decided to go with that. And of course, as with most places, it's all shut down for COVID inside. There's a couple tables outside, which I'm gonna try and get one to eat. Otherwise, I'll have to eat in the car. So here's the plate. We've got the couple of meatloaf slices, the rice, and then collard greens and macaroni and cheese. And as I've mentioned many times, I'm always on the lookout for good macaroni and cheese, vegan mac, and also good meatloaf. I've made a couple different ones with Impossible and Beyond that were really good, and this one just looks really good as well, so I can't wait. All right, I got it all set up. I'm gonna jump right into the macaroni first. Oh, it's really creamy. That is really good. I can definitely taste the pepper in it. I can see the pepper as well. I have no idea what the base is or what they made the cheese sauce out of. But whatever they made it out of, it's really creamy. As I kind of stir it around, it almost sounds like Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's not an overpowering flavor. It's kind of like, as I've mentioned, you know, I'm not a food critic, so my terms are awfully not so official. But there's no like funky vegan flavor with it, like a lot of cheeses have. It's just really good, is all I can say about it. All right, going in for the greens next. There's some tomatoes in it. Obviously there's no meat in it, but try and get a little bit of everything in it. This is a really nice contrast to the macaroni, which is really smooth and just like a nice subtle flavor. The greens are rather savory, which is right up my alley. Definitely like salty foods. Let's try one more bite. Yeah, this is delicious. Having not grown up in the South and, you know, in the Northeast, and now living in Southern California, this type of food is not exactly abundant. So I can honestly say I've never really had, I guess, what you could call traditional collard greens. So I can't really compare it as to what traditional would taste like, because I don't know. But not having that contrast or comparison, these greens by themselves, they stand very well. They are very good. All right, last thing to try besides the rice. The rice is just like regular white rice, so nothing really to try there. But is the meatloaf. So as I'm looking at it here, it's definitely got that kind of spongy or bouncy quality that meatloaf basically requires, and that a lot of vegetarian loaves lack. A lot of times they crumble, they don't stick together. The Beyond and Impossible ones I made, those worked really well and they tasted really good. And this one so far is really good too. I can see the onions in it. There's the sauce on top, and then kind of like some sauteed or grilled onions on top as well. So I'll just get a little bite here. Perfect flavor. Wouldn't have done anything different with this. The sauce on top, obviously ketchup based. That's what I get the most of is ketchup. It might just be straight ketchup, I'm not really certain. The meat loaf itself, wow, is very good. I was worried that it would be really, really salty, as a lot of vegan meats or faux meats are. This is not at all. In fact, there's almost, I say this in a good way, there's almost like no salt in it at all. I'm sure there is, but it doesn't bleed through, so that way it feels like, you know, you're eating sodium. I'm basically speechless because of how good this is. So now I'm gonna try mixing a little bit, get a little bit of meatloaf and a little bit of the mac. Gets better with every taste. This entire plate is awesome. And the plate itself, if I had to go to a carnival game and guess how much this weighs, this is probably 1.5 pounds, maybe 2 pounds of food. I probably won't be able to eat it all. If I skip anything, it'll be the rice for the most part, because you know, rice will fill you up really quickly. But even just as rice, it's really good. It's almost like a sticky rice. So I'm gonna get to it and try and finish off as much of this as I can. And as promised, here is their current menu. Since they said the menu online could be slightly different due to COVID, but on this side is the breakfast. In here they've got the platters, and then the menu cooked to order. So just like in the evening time, they have the kind of like the on the line breakfast, and then you can also order something. And then down here is interesting, something that not a lot of vegan places do, is they actually talk about what all of their faux meats or the vegan meat substitutes are made from. So like this is an interesting one. The shrimp is from yams. Never would have guessed that. And then the majority is either soy protein or pea protein, and then there's some mung protein as well. And then on the back side is the main menu, or like lunch and dinner. So this side here is what's on the line, and then here's the meatloaf that I got, and then the cook to order, which is like going to be your chicken strips, fried shrimp, and burgers basically. And then they have a Philly cheese sandwich, it looks like, which I guarantee would be good. All right, so I'm all done with dinner from GoVegan Grill, which you can see right behind me. Definitely some of the best vegan food I've had in a while. Nothing overpowered like any other item, and they all paired well, very, very well. I don't really have much more to say about it since you just watched it, and I was basically gloating about it the whole time. If you're in the greater Atlanta area, definitely try to get out to Decatur to give this restaurant a try. I'll put the address and contact information and their social medias in the description below. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please give us a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. If you ring the bell below, you'll get notifications of all of our future videos. Be kind and be real, and join us on our next experience.